Hi everyone, my name is Shanea O'Connor. I'm one of the co-owners of TrueBloodFansource.com, and normally my partner Jamie and I do a podcast for each episode of season 4, and we give our thoughts and all of that. But Jamie's not here, she's on vacation, so I thought this week that I would do a little video vlog thing instead. But before I give you my thoughts on episode 5, Me and the Devil, which, by the way, I thought was really fantastic, I wanted to let you guys know what I've been up to lately. If you follow us on Twitter or like us on Facebook, you might have noticed that I posted something about going to Comic-Con International this past weekend, and I just got back late on Sunday night, and I had a really good time. I covered about 4 panels related to True Blood, and I'm in the process of editing photos and uploading photos from the event, so I hope to have those up soon. I'm in the middle of writing my True Blood panel experience post, so I hope that you'll enjoy it, and I'll try to get it done as quick as possible. I didn't have a real life job to worry about. I would do this all the time, believe me. But yeah, I had a blast. And I actually got some swag from HBO because I attended both the Game of Thrones panel and the True Blood panel, and I will be doing a little giveaway of some of the stuff that I received in my swag bag, because that stuff is specific to Comic-Con and you can't get it anywhere else. So I want to give it away to you guys, because I want you guys to know how much we appreciate you. I can't tell you how happy it makes me to see all the visits that you guys make to our site every day and every week. When we first started the site, Jamie and I were pretty certain that the only people that would read it were our friends and mostly our family. So to know that, you know, we have hundreds of people around the world that visit our site every day is just amazing. So yeah, I just want to say thank you for sticking with us and all of that. So without further ado, I'll give you my thoughts on episode 5, Me and the Devil. I'm gonna go with characters and just talk about it that way. The first character I want to talk about is Pam, because I love Pam. I just do. And I have a soft spot for her that started last season when her and Eric were having those little scenes in episodes 9 and 10, or 9 and 11 of season 3. I thought that they were really good, and yeah, that's why I like them so much. But Pam, of course, is in trouble because her face is still dissolving, basically. And she, you know, tried to get Marnie to tell her how to reverse the spell, but of course Marnie doesn't know because she was possessed at the time. But I feel bad for Pam, of course, that she has to deal with this, but the fact that she did what she did to Eric, she basically blurted out that Eric was with Sookie to Bill at the end. That was heartbreaking to me, because I know that, you know, Pam will never forgive herself. She's going to be beating herself up for that for a long time, because as we know, Pam's world, the center of her universe, is Eric, and she would never ever do anything to harm him. So for that to happen, you know, that's a big deal. But I will say that I was highly amused by Pam's outfit. It was very, very Pam. and all I could just imagine when I saw it, you know, what other outfits must be in her closet from the decades of being around and being around fashion. So that was fun, but I felt bad for her because I don't like to see my favorite characters in pain. I like to see them doing other stuff. But Bill, I'm glad that he ended that relationship with Portia. I'm glad to see that, you know, even though he's king, he still has that morality that we've come to know from Bill. But I'm still really worried for him because I think Bill has gotten in over his head with this whole king thing. And while I really like that he's king and he's having to deal with these issues, I worry for him because he has to answer to Nan Flanagan and to the AVL and the authority, and I think that he's been engaging in practices at times that probably are not things that the AVL or the authority approve of. And, you know, I don't want him to meet the same fate, say, as Sophie Ann. But I thought that he handled Marnie and that whole situation quite well. He did the right thing, trying to bring her in, and then talking to the sheriffs. I mean, you could see that he was really trying to be a leader. But yeah, I don't know what he'll do when he finds Eric and Sookie together. It's going to be interesting. Eric and Sookie, Eric is so cute. Sookie, I had a bad dream. He's just cute. But you know, I felt bad for him because, you know, he's all of a sudden learning about all these things that he did as regular Eric, and you know, you hate to hear all of the bad things that you've done, you know, in your life, and he has to hear about it and he doesn't remember it, and you know, I felt bad for him. But I like the thing developing between her and Sookie. That's him and Sookie, I should say. That said, I'm not a Sookie anyone shipper typically. I'm a character person, so I'm pretty neutral. But I like the way that they're doing this story. It's nice if it has to happen. I mean, they're doing a good job. Tara and Sookie, I don't know why the writers have to make Tara so angry all the time. She, you know, she's been at peace in the last few episodes, but then, you know, she gets so angry, and it seems like, you know, she gets stuck in this place every season. And Rutina Wesley, I've seen her do her thing, and I think that, you know, there's more to Tara than being angry at everybody all the time because they piss her off or do something that she doesn't like. So I wasn't happy that she didn't listen to Sookie when she was trying to explain to Eric. I mean, I know she's been traumatized, but seriously, like, I don't know. I have issues with the way that Tara was traumatized because of the way that they played it out last season with Franklin Mott. I mean, yeah, she was terrorized, but, you know, you couldn't help but laugh because Franklin Mott was, like, straight up crazy. So, the next person I want to talk about is Marnie, of course. I thought it was really interesting that she had that dream about Antonia, and that we found out that vampires were priests, and that we also found out that vampires had been awakened in the Spanish Inquisition and brought out into the sunlight to die. That was interesting to me. But I really like how Fiona Shaw is playing this. I was really kind of unsure how it would go in episodes 3 and 4, but it really seems like she's coming into her own, and I'm really excited to see where it's going for her. And I also really enjoyed her scene with Sookie, and how Sookie's grandmother Adele came in through Marnie and gave Sookie that warning that Marnie wasn't to be trusted, because, now, you know, we kind of get this indication that while Marnie might not have control over being possessed by Antonia, she might not be quite the unwilling victim that we think that she is, or the unwilling person, I should say. Jason and Jessica and Hoyt, I like a lot, especially now that Jason's away from Crystal and not being ritualistically raped, because that kind of bothered me a lot. But I really think that it's interesting that Jessica has done this, given Jason her blood, and now there's this tension. I think it's being played out really well. I feel bad for Jessica and Hoyt because I like them as a couple, but I think the dynamics are interesting, and I think it's something to watch. Lafayette and Jesus. I'm concerned about Jesus because he's another one that I'm not sure of his intentions. I mean, he killed a goat when he was 9, and I don't know why they had to show the killing of the goat. Seriously, I don't know why that was necessary, but they did. And I'm interested to see what Jesus does, but I also find it really interesting that Lafayette is kind of like the voice of reason. He's like, come on now, you know, these vampires are crazy, you know, we have to do something. But at the same time, he's like, well, you know, what are we gonna do here? I mean, these guys are vampires, and he knows firsthand. So I think that it's really cool to see him sort of try to be the reasonable guy, even after he's done questionable things in seasons past. Oh, and then the last thing I want to talk about is Sam and Tommy. I love that Sam and Tommy now have something to bond them together. It's awful that their parents had to die, obviously, but I'm glad that Tommy stood up for himself, because him being choked to death in the last episode was really, you know, it bothered me a lot. But I'm glad that Sam and Tommy have something now, because it gives Sam that extra thing to do other than be with Luna and the Shapeshifters. And I feel like Marshall Allman gets to really come into his own at this point in the season, and not just be Sam's little brother, and they don't have anything in common. Arlene and Terry and the baby, oh my god. The fact that they that exorcism makes me laugh so hard, but the fact that Terry isn't so in love with that baby is so cute. And I liked that Arlene was finally kind of showing a little bit of mother's protection toward the baby, which was nice. But I'm obviously worried for them, because the last shot we saw of them in this episode was a book of matches being lit on fire. So obviously something's going to happen with that. So it's a little bit worrisome. But yeah, I think that's about it. So I just want to say thank you guys again for visiting our site and making us your source for True Blood. So stick with us. I'm going to be doing some updating this week, and I'll talk to you guys later. Bye.